This is Sarah, full-time working mom, 2 kids under 8, a job that doesn't stop when she leaves the office. Her morning starts before anyone else wakes up, and by the time the kids are fed, dressed, dropped off, she's already running on empty. Lunch is whatever the fastest, dinner is whatever the kids will actually eat, and by 9 PM when the house is finally quiet, she collapses on the couch. Not because she's lazy, because she has genuinely given everything she has to everyone else. She wanted to get back in shape, she knew she needed to, her clothes weren't fitting the way they used to. She would catch herself in photos and barely recognize the woman looking back. But every time she tried, a meal plan that required cooking separate meals from the family, a gym schedule that assumed she had free mornings, a program that fell apart the moment one kid got sick. And just like that, it was over. Not because Sarah didn't care, not because she didn't try hard enough. She was just missing one thing. The one thing nobody had ever built for her. A plan that actually fit the life she was already living. Let's fast forward 20 weeks. Okay, Sarah is 8 kilos down. Okay, she has energy again, real energy, not the kind that comes from a third coffee. She's still eating the same family dinner, still doing school runs, still working full time, but she's present now. Not just physically there, actually present with her kids, with herself. And the thing she told me that I will never forget, Jack, I finally feel like me again. Now, does any of that sound familiar? Because if you are watching this, there's a reason. Maybe you are not Sarah exactly, maybe your story looks a little bit different, but I'm willing to bet that somewhere in there, you recognize something. The exhaustion, the guilt, the feeling that everyone else needs come before yours. The quiet voice that says, I will focus on myself once things settle down. But things never ever settle down. So let me tell you something that most coaches won't say to you. Okay, it was never about finding the perfect time. It was never about having a cleaner routine or a quieter season of life. It was never about willpower or discipline or wanting it badly enough. Here's what was actually happening. Every single program Sarah ever tried was designed for someone without kids, without a job, without a family that needed feeding every single night. And the moment real life showed up, the program collapsed because it was never built for her real life in the first place. Okay, that's it. That's the whole reason. Not her, but the system is the problem. And once Sarah understood that, everything changed. Now, I know exactly what's going through your head right now. Jack, I have no routine. My life is too chaotic. Sarah had no routine either. Some weeks she trained 4 times, some weeks 0. Her schedule changed every single week depending on the kids. We didn't give her a rigid plan that required perfect condition. We built something flexible enough to survive a sick kid, a work deadline, and a school holiday, all in the same week. Because the best plan isn't the most perfect one, it's the one that doesn't fall apart when life gets messy. Okay, but Jack, I can't eat separately from my family. I'm not making 2 dinners. Sarah wasn't either. Okay, she was still eating the same family meals, the same rice, the same dishes she has been cooking for years. We didn't change what she ate. We changed how she understood what she was eating. Because here's what nobody tells you. Awareness beats restriction every single time. You don't need a separate meal plan. You need to understand what's on your plate. That's it. And once you have that, everything clicks. Okay, but Jack, I feel guilty spending time on myself when kids needs me. I hear this more than almost anything else, okay? And I want to say something directly, okay? Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's the most important thing you can do for people who depend on you. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and right now, you're running on fumes. The version of you that has energy, that feels good in her body, that shows up present and confident, that version is better for your kids, not worse. But Jack, can I just get a PT? Okay, I need someone to be there physically. I understand why this feels like the answer, but let me ask you something honest. A PT is with you for maybe 3 hours a week. What happens in the other 165 hours? What happens at the school canteen when you're grabbing something quick? What happens at 8 PM when the kids are finally asleep and you're exhausted and the fridge is just right there? That's where everything falls apart, not in the gym. And that's exactly where I am every single day. Daily check-in, your training program, nutrition principles simple enough to apply at any hawker center, any family dinner, any school event. A PT gives you a session, I give you a system. A system works even when life doesn't cooperate. So let me show you what these 20 weeks actually look like for someone like you. Okay, week 1. We sit down and I learn everything about your life, your schedule, what your family eats, what your week actually looks like, not the ideal version, the real one. And we build everything around that. Okay, 3 sessions a week that fit around school runs and work, short enough to do during nap time or lunch break, daily check-ins that take less than 5 minutes, nutrition principle you can apply to the same meal your family is already eating. No separate cooking, no meal prep on Sundays, no guilt about eating what everyone else is eating. Sarah didn't overhaul her life. She didn't hire a babysitter to go to the gym. She didn't stop being a mom to become someone who works out. She just finally had a plan that was built for her and someone there every day to make sure she stayed on track. Even when the kids were sick, work was crazy, and everything felt like too much, which it did because it always does. I want to ask you something. 10 years ago, how did you imagine you will look and feel today? Is that where you are right now? Okay, because if it's not, and you keep doing what you're doing, where are you going to be in another 10 years? Your kids are watching you. They are learning what it looks like to take care of yourself, what it looks like to show up for yourself, the same way you show up for everyone else. And most importantly, you are watching you. Every time you avoid the mirror, every time you feel tired to do the things you used to love, every time you tell yourself you will focus on yourself once things settle down, you feel it and you know it. You can keep waiting for the right season, keep trying plans that were never built for your life, or you can do what Sarah did. Stop waiting, get the right system, get someone in your corner every single day, and actually make the change. You have already booked this call, and that means something. That means part of you already know it's time. So come to that call ready to be honest about where you are, what you have tried, and what you actually want your life to look like. No judgment, no fluff, just a real conversation about what's actually going to take to get you there. I'll see you on the call.